Hello, New Horizons, and welcome to the next installment of our art lesson. Today we are going to be learning about landscape, and we're going to continue with perspective. I'm not sure if you saw the seascape perspective lesson, but with the seascape we showed how sailboats, when they are far away, they appear small. When they are close up, they appear big. And we talked about the horizon line where the ocean meets the sky. Well, today we're going to apply those same concepts, but to a landscape. We're going to use trees. And as you can see with this finished picture, bring it a little closer. As you can see, you've got little bitty tree and a great big tree. Now, is this tree actually tiny? No, it's perspective. If you imagine walking down this path, this tree would continue to get larger and larger, appear larger and larger. I want you to take note also, set this back down, take note of where the tree trunks lie. The large tree, the trunk comes all the way to the bottom. The smaller trees, the tree trunks come farther back on the page. They never float above the horizon line though. You don't want floating trees that are above the horizon. And then you've got your medium-sized tree that comes in the middle. So be very aware of that, of the base of the tree, okay? The big one comes to the bottom, the medium comes to the middle, and so on and so on. Also, notice how large this tree is, or appears to be, how much room it takes up. Don't be afraid when you're drawing to let that first tree take up a lot of space. It comes beyond the middle of the paper. It goes to the top of the paper all the way to the bottom. That's when you really get real life perspective. You can imagine walking down this path. And that's the goal of being an advanced artist. Everything's not just straight across. You imagine you're actually walking through this park. Okay, so ideally we would have larger paper, but I want you to use what you have on hand. This will just be a practice activity. If you have larger paper, that's fine. But we are going to just use basic computer paper. Please turn it tall. Now I am going to use pencil just for the horizon line. And the reason is, you see this horizon line, it's covered by so much stuff that you're going to have to do a lot of erasing. But you need it there for that initial grounding point. So you're going to have your horizon line. I'm going to use pencil. I'm going to encourage you to draw lightly because you will have to erase. I will then switch to Sharpie, but you may continue using pencil. And I'm only switching to Sharpie so that you can see. So horizon line. I'm going to do a nice wavy horizon line. We're going to imagine we're in a hilly park. And then somewhere on your horizon, your choice, somewhere near the middle, we're going to do the vanishing point. And a vanishing point is where something appears to disappear. If you're driving down the road, like on a highway, there's a point where you can't see the road anymore. It comes together and it disappears. That's the vanishing point. In this case, the vanishing point's right here. Now this could be a stream or a path. For whatever reason, depending on when you add color, I'm choosing a path, but when you choose to paint this or color this, if you want to make it a path or a stream, a river, totally fine. It can be either one. So back to vanishing point right here. And then you are going to draw a triangle, and in this case it's a wavy triangle because we want it to be naturally curvy. A wavy triangle that gradually opens up. And if you can't see that, there. Okay. So you've got your, I'm not going to trace the horizon line yet because I will need to erase. So first thing first, I'm going to focus on this large tree. And it's important that it come all the way to the bottom. And I didn't leave myself a lot of room with that path, but that's okay. Since I did that in Sharpie, I'm going to put the big tree on the other side. Sometimes with artists, when we make mistakes or when we have things that aren't planned, you just go with it. And you can make it even more creative. So my big tree is going to be on the right side. It'll be a little bit curvy because it is natural. My first branch. Trees start large at the bottom and gradually get a little bit thinner towards the top. I'm going to have this branch run right off the edge, and that's okay. Don't ever try to cram things in. You want to imagine the way they would naturally be. If you were to take a picture, you would not cram tree limbs in. You would just cut it off. So it's going to be cut off. And then we'll add a few more. This one breaks off. This one breaks off again. You can be creative with your tree branches. Little fingers. Go to the back. All right, and then there's a lot of way to do trees. I'm just going to do a big puff. Big giant puff that runs off the edge. Let's see if you can see that. Pull you closer. Okay, now the first thing that just stands out to me is this line. That is incorrect. The tree would cover the horizon line, so you want to erase where that tree covers the horizon line to make it accurate. All right, next we're going to do our medium-sized tree. Now in this case it's on the right. I'm going to put mine on the left. Now using this small paper, I realize I drew this tree really big, and that's okay. So there's going to have to be some overlapping. So overlapping means whatever's closer is going to cover whatever's farther. This hand is close, this hand is farther, it's overlapped. You have to use that in your art. So when I draw my medium-sized tree, it's going to get a little bit covered up by the bigger tree. First things first, the bottom of the medium tree, notice here's the bottom of the paper. You've got a good couple of inches. So I'm going to start the bottom of the tree around here. Again, it's going to run off the page. That's okay. Slightly smaller branches. There's the overlap. Uh-oh. And a little bit skinnier. Okay. And then the fluffy tree top. I'm going to pull you in close. Notice the big tree covers up part of the medium-sized tree. Now again, what sticks out to me that is incorrect is this right here. This horizon line would be covered by the tree. So I'm going to take my eraser. And erase. Okay. Now, because this is a small paper, this is going to be a very full picture, which is really cool. I like filling my picture with details. So the small tree, I'm going to add two. One small and one even smaller. Notice you've got the medium-sized tree that comes down to here, and then you're going to go up, and then you're going to go up even further. So in this case, let's see. I'm going to put one small tree here, nice and skinny. Make sure it's skinnier than the others. Cute little puff, and guess what? It's going to get covered up. Okay, I'll pull you close. You definitely want that far away tree to be covered or overlapped by the larger, closer up trees. Okay, and then even one tinier over here. Wherever you have space, it's up to you. I'm going to go travel even farther up. And there we have it. Looks like I have a little space over here. Nobody likes a big empty space, so let's add one more. Wherever you feel like you have extra space. Pull you close. 3 little trees. None of them are floating in the air. They're all below the horizon line. Now, even though they're tiny, I'm still going to erase that little bitty spot where the horizon line crosses. Now I'm going to reinforce with Sharpie. We've got a few other places where that horizon line showed. There we go. Now, I have no room in my sky for a cloud or a sun, and that's okay. If you have room in your sky, feel free to add that sort of thing. Where I see that I have blank space, and I'll pull you closer, I seem to have a lot of blank space in the grassy areas, and that bothers me. So I'm going to add some cute little sprigs, little bushes, or little plants. So I'm going to add that kind of thing to fill in those boring plain spaces. Just like the trees, the closer up, the bigger the plant, and they get smaller and smaller and smaller. So, and I don't have a whole lot of space, but I'm going to add some cute little bushes. Being careful to get smaller as they go. That might not have worked. There. Also, I want my path to be a dirt path. I don't want it to be paved. So I'm going to do some wavy lines that give the appearance of being natural. Now that I think of it, that kind of made it look like a river, and that's okay too. Like I said, sometimes in art we don't always plan, we just go with it. And that is going to conclude our landscape. Feel free to color with marker or watercolor or pencil, color pencil, crayon, whatever you have on hand. And hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing everyone's art. You may send me pictures so that I can see your completed work. Thanks so much. See you later.